Hello friends, so today I'm going to do a walkthrough on OER Commons for uploading your resources. So as you can see here right now, I have my first sample one up. So this is my OER example, Introduction to Communication. We are in the instructor view right now. We have student view open here in this window. So this is what the students will see. And let's just go through this one really quick. You have the option to either do it by section or you can view all as one page. Personally, I like to view all as one page just because that helps me, but the different sections, you can title them, and then when we add the second section, we'll come back to this. So as it's all in one page, we have our main photo or our cover photo. So this would be the cover of the textbook or the resource. As you can see over here, we have this instructor overview. We scroll down. I have mine set up into different weeks just because that's how I like to organize my particular stuff. So it's like week 1, chapter 1. And then I have the discussions questions over here on the instructor side. If you scroll down to these on the student side, you see that there is no discussion questions. I could put them at the end, but for now, these are just in the instructor one to say, hey, as the students are reading this, when we go back, we're going to say, okay, here's some of our discussion questions. So once we read, this little section, we can scroll back up and say, okay, students, how do you practice good active listening? How do you feel when a friend acts like they aren't listening to you, etc. We have our photos in there with proper photo credit, CC by. Scroll down, continue reading. All of our photos have photo credit. I just pulled these off from the Creative Commons search. And we have an attached resource here. If I click on it, it will open up it in a new tab because this is a PDF and this is an OER PDF. And then it's that if the students want that supplemental reading, and I also have it linked up here for them. And we do want to redirect to that. And this is what that will bring us to. So, and it's the same on the student side. They have those links and they have this additional resource attached at the bottom. So if we go over here to our edit. So the way you can get there is if you click on your profile picture, you go to my items, and then it will bring up your resources that you've been working on. Or if you want to do a new one, you can say add and then create resource. I already have these in here, so I'm just going to go and click on the drafts I already have working. I'm going to go and I'm going to edit it. And it's going to bring me back to this edit page where I can insert a photo. So if I want to change the picture, I already have the picture I want in there, which is this intro to communication. I have this section 1. I imported this from a Google Drive because I typed it up in Google because that's what I'm familiar with. I inserted all the pictures in Google, and then I just imported it from there. And I just attached the resource. You can attach additional resources if you so wish. You can import from OneDrive, and these are my instructor notes section. So same with like the regular text box, you can insert whatever else you want to it. But right now we're going to go to section, insert new section, and say, we're going to go say, okay, this is week 7. Intercultural communication, because those are the ones I'm going to pull in. So we're going to go say, if we want, we can just straightforward, type in here and say, heading, intercultural communication. What is it? And, type whatever in there that we want. Insert pictures as appropriate. We can insert YouTube videos as well. But for now, we are going to say we're going to import this from Google Drive. We're going to choose that particular email because that's the one I have mine in. And then where is my, yep, there's that intercultural LibGuide. And there is this imported. It did not bring over all of my formatting, unfortunately. So if we go over here and say there's that intercultural LibGuide that I worked on, so not all of the formatting came over. So I would just have to spend a minute or two reformatting as needed. So I'd want to do that and then say, okay, we'll take out that. I want to insert my picture. So I want to choose the file. We're in week 7, send it to the server. Alternative text, just week 7. Intercultural communication. I want it center aligned, and that is way too big. So we're going to go and make it a lot a bit smaller. So if I wanted to have like an OER reading in there, I could insert this link. So takes to external site, must log in to your library account to access. So this is not an OER reading, but for students, if they're at EAC, then they would just log into their EAC library one. So maybe that's not something we'd include in this. But we could still say, you know, our pre-reading questions and our post-reading questions. And sometimes, oh yeah, we'll just do that. You know, if we don't want this and want to find a different reading, we can totally do that. There are lots of OERs for communication in this case, so I would just have to go and say, okay, do I want to link to something else or do I want to type something out myself? So if I link to something else, what other work am I putting into that? Am I adding discussion questions? Am I adding an assignment with it? Am I making a PowerPoint and a short lecture to go along with that? So instead of sending them to this site, maybe I make a little video over that particular topic instead. So this was, I think, just like an outline of the reading. So why do we study intercultural communication? So important things to remember, how we got there, you know, what is culture, the different facets, that, and then it just looks like the spacing's off. So maybe we just want to make sure, okay, well, how are we going to do this and just make sure. So it might take a little bit of time to reformat occasionally, but you know, that is the danger of just importing straight from Google Drive. You know, you could copy and paste it over and see how that would work, or you could just type it out as well. So there should be, yeah, so if something is not Creative Commons, just put a link to it. But this one, in this case, it is Creative Commons, so we can, let's just go ahead and like embed it. So we're going to copy that URL title. So how does language shape your identity? Okay. And then it goes ahead and embeds that right there. So because this one is Creative Commons licensed according to YouTube, then we will embed it. But since this one is not, we will just leave the link and say, you know, we'll open in a new tab. And obviously the rest of this is not very pretty. but we can fix that too. This. So nonverbals are all functions of kinesics, colesics, da 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 da. Yeah, so let's just go ahead and let's preview this and see what it looks like from a student view. So we have that, we can go to next and we can say week 1. There's our nice little laid out everything with that one. We go to our week 7 and say, okay, well, we have our picture. We have this reading to the redirect. Oh, but it didn't open in a new tab. So we would have to change that. And let's go back to that student view. Week 7. We have our pre-reading and our post-reading questions, and then some of our little notes for this. So this is, in this case, this is more of just like a note section, but it gives you kind of the style of what things can look like. So if we go back to our previous one, you have more of the like actual reading style or lesson style, and then this one is more of like the note style. So whatever works best for you and your students. But yeah, you can insert videos, you can insert images. If it is not Creative Commons, then please just have them open in a new tab. And there is a setting for that. Let me, so. Yeah, so new window. Oh. And then, yeah, let's see if that worked. So let's preview student view, and that's that first link. Yep, now it opens in a new tab. So that's the setting of doing that. Whoop. Oh, sorry, I accidentally inserted that link instead of the other actual link. But that is the basics of using that, and that's what it will look like. Just if you have links like this that are not Creative Commons licensed, please make sure that they open in a new window rather than being embedded. So, but if you have any questions, please feel free to shoot me an email and just let me know, and I am happy to answer any questions and help you as needed. So thank you.